What's up YouTube, Awesome Yu-Gi-Oh here, and today we're here finally, I would almost say, with a deck profile on Volcanics, and this is for the April 1st 2015 ban list, national seasons pretty much. I finally got this entire deck together without selling something right away. I always had pieces of this deck, but I never really had the full list altogether, or I did have it, but not long enough for me to profile it. But yeah, I finally got everything now, and I'm quickly going to do a deck profile on it before someone buys it away again. So yeah, this is definitely a cool deck, definitely one of the better lower tier decks right now. It definitely has a decent Necros matchup and a decent Talon matchup, which is pretty cool actually. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the list. So of course you have your triple Volcanic Rocket, the Searcher for your Blaze Accelerator trap, then your triple Scattershot, your Raigeki, does the burn damage. This is definitely one of your most relevant cards in the deck. Triple Shell, kind of your engine, your draw engine, another good card you pretty much like. You don't mind seeing this card that fast. And then you have your Royal Firestorm Guard, 3 of those. This is what wins you the grind game. Of course, when you normal summon him, this is what recycles everything. When you normal summon him, you get to put your shells and scattershots back in the deck, putting 4 pyros back, including himself, for example, so you never really run out of cards in the deck pretty much. And then you can draw 2 cards. Extremely relevant card for this deck. This card is extremely good. And then I am running the Trap Tricks engine as well, because you don't have that much normal summons. Pretty much your Firestorm Guard and Rocket are your only normal summons. So I included the Trap Tricks engine, triple Murmileo along with double Dianea. This just gives you a better grind game and a better first turn opening. Because if you don't have Rocket, you're not normal summoning first turn, and Murmileo is definitely a great additional normal summon. Once again, it's like a +1 on summon, just like Rocket is, and this greatly enhances your Necros matchup because you can search Void and Trap Tricks, Void Trapple and Trap Tricks Trapple Nightmare, and then of course Dianea for some cool rank 4 plays. Because in my opinion this deck lacked a little bit in power and consistency, and I feel like with the inclusion of the Trap Tricks, that problem is pretty much solved, and you also get a lot of more board presence, which can be extremely relevant. So that's it for the monsters. I believe that's 17, and of course then Shell and Scattershot don't really count, so that's 6 monsters right there that aren't really anything if you're looking at it. Then triple Pot of Duality for consistency or a grind deck. Triple Pot gets you where you need to go. Triple Magic Planter. I've maxed out on these. A lot of people are running just like 2. But this is definitely a card I always want to see. If you're rolling, you're seeing your continuous trap cards, and then Magic Planter just helps out tremendously. So for the consistency I went with triple and triple. Now I'm not running Upstart in this deck, and that's why I included the triple Magic Planter. And I'm not running Upstart because what you're doing is kind of like burning as well with your Scattershots, 1500 burn on resolution. So I didn't want to run Upstarts in this because the 3000 extra you're giving your opponent can make it so that they actually might win the grind game. Last spell is 1 Foolish Burial. Excuse me for the reflection, but yeah, Foolish Burial. Actually a really relevant card, getting you to shell as quickly as possible. That's it for the spells. That's only 70 spells. And the traps, you have your triple Blaze Accelerator. This card just made this deck so much better. It really is amazing. And of course the continuous trap, so it has so much synergy with everything in this deck. Obviously the Volcanic monsters, but also with the Magic Planter. It's yeah, it's incredible. It's really cool how this deck made such an old archetype extremely viable in my opinion. Just actually top to YCS, and it's up to a couple of regionals, and it's still, right now, in my opinion, it's still an extremely good deck. So yeah, that's really cool in my opinion. Triple Phoenix Chain, another continuous trap card, and Phoenix Chain is just extremely irrelevant against Necros, because Trishula can be a problem if they're banishing scatter shots from your graveyard. You don't want that to happen, so Triple Phoenix Chain for the Trish is extremely relevant. Double Call of the Haunted. For those of you who don't know, Rocket is actually a German one. Let me get an English one. If I have an English one, I do. Rocket does not need to be normal summoned for him to get his effect. Pretty much when he is summoned, he will get the effect to search the Blaze Accelerator reload. So if you special summon him with Call of the Haunted, you get the search as well. And of course, Call of the Haunted has an incredible amount of synergy with the Trap Trick cards as well. So Call of the Haunted, definitely an awesome card. And once again, a continuous trap card, so even more synergy with Magic Planter. Because this actually stays on the field when you were to overlay for, let's say you're special summoning a Rocket, normal summoning Myrmilio, or vice versa, and you're overlaying, then this stays on the field, and then you can Magic Planter him away, or discard away to draw 2 more cards. This deck floats so well, it's incredible. It's really consistent as well. Double Mind Crush, then I have my my Trebles, Bottomless Trap Hole, Trap to Trap Hole Nightmare, and Void Trap Hole. I always like having a even or less amount of trap holes than my Myrmilios, because you're not always going to see all your Myrmilios. So right now I'm running 3 Myrmilios, and then you have your 3 triple targets. This card is in general not as good right now. It really helps with the Clifford matchup, and it's decent on the Unicorn. These two are extremely relevant against Necros. Definitely Void Trap Hole is really good against Valkyries and Trishula. Trap to Trap Hole Nightmare, of course, in general, a bit easier to play around, especially when your opponent knows you have it, but it's still an extremely good card against Trishula. And then some one-offs, one Ring of Destruction. Like I said, you are playing a semi-burn deck, so Ring of Destruction really helps putting some damage in. Solemn Warning, mostly for the main deck, Danko Seka, and then, of course, Emptiness, another continuous trap card, and Rocket plus Emptiness 1900 is really good against a lot of decks. So that is the main deck. That is of course 40 cards. Then the extra deck, we have Axiton. You're only running rank 4s in the extra deck, so you're going pretty much to run every generic rank 4. Lavalval Chain, ditching your Scattershot, the Gusta Emerald. If for some reason you didn't get access to a Royal Firestorm Guard, or your Royal Firestorm Guard's effect got negated or something, this also helps with recycling. Diamond Dire Wolf, Spot Removal, Dark Rebellion Dragon can definitely put in that last bit of damage you need to do. Cowboy, Burn, Sunlunner Auric, really good with Emptiness, and just one of the staple rank 4s. Heartland Draco, more damage. Black Ship of Corn, more damage. And then I am running, in this deck, because you're running all those rank 4s, I am running Giant Hand. Now of course I know not everyone has access to Giant Hand. I really like Giant Hand in Volcanics because this improves your Talon matchup, which isn't the best matchup you can have, but with Giant Hand it definitely improves and enhances your matchup. And you're pretty much running every rank 4 in the game that is available to you in this deck. It's pretty easy to make rank 4s in this deck with Dionea and the Call of the Haunted. So yeah, if you can, I definitely suggest you're running Giant Hand, and of course if you can, then any rank 4 pretty much suffice to replace this, or you can double up on any other rank 4. Maybe go with, I don't know, Mace Stroke or something. You don't have a lot of options because I'm pretty much already running every rank 4 in the deck. But yeah, Giant Hand's definitely something that can help in some matchups if you have the room for it, which you definitely do in this deck. I definitely don't run Giant Hand in everything because I feel like a lot of the other rank 4s are just better. So if you have to pick like 4 or 5 rank 4s, Giant Hand definitely isn't on the top of that list. I mean, people are just playing it because they own it and they feel like they need to play it. But if you're running 15 rank 4s, then Giant Hand definitely deserves a spot. Dweller, Kagorgans protects some of your back row, Emptiness Lock, etc. Rhapsody, Castell, more sport removal, and Arachno Zero, because it's just good against some rogue decks, and it's not as good anymore as it once was against Clifford, but it can still put some pressure on Clifford. So that's the extra deck. Side deck, we're running triple max C for Burning Abyss, pretty much. And then the rest are all traps. I'm running double Chaos Trapple, and I have to proxy one because a friend of mine borrowed one. And of course, you know, the rule is when you borrow something, you never give it back. But I'm running double Chaos Trapple, and this is definitely for Danko Seka, because Danko Seka can really hurt this deck. Chaos Trapple helps with that. A Gemma Trio. Now this also against Burning Abyss, but of course you can use this against decks like Teller as well. And the funny chemistry this Gemma Trio has with this deck is if you put down a Gemma Trio, they get 3 tokens. And then if you blow that up with Scattershot, they do the 1500 burn. You do the 1500 burn with Scattershot, but they also take 300 for each token. So that's 2400 right there, and that's nothing to laugh at. So Gemma Trio, it's what you can do with a Gemma Trio in this deck is really cool as well, and it helps with some of the burn damage you can do. And of course it shut down Burning Abyss, but that's just an added bonus in my opinion. Double Imperial Irewall for Necros. You don't want to get trished. Can't emphasize that enough. Third Mind Crush also helps against Trish. Double Lightning Piercing Mirror for Satellis, and then triple Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for Shadol and Burning Abyss. So yeah, that's the entire deck. Flip through it really quick. Yeah, I finally got a chance to do a deck profile on this deck. It's been requested for a long time, but I never really, like I said, I never really owned pretty much triple Firestorm and triple Rocket at any certain point. But yeah, now I did, so I profiled it as soon as I could, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please thumbs up this video if you did. Leave a comment down below what you think of this deck, and if you were to change anything, if at all. And yeah, also leave some suggestions down below of some other deck profiles you want me to do. Now I am heading to my nationals in 2 weeks, I believe, 2.5, something like that. So I probably won't be doing too many deck profiles because I will be focusing on what I actually am going to play at nationals, because for right now I have no idea. But I'm leaning towards Shadol's right now, to be honest, especially with the new support coming out. But yeah, thumbs up this video, leave some suggestions, and I'll see you guys with the next deck profile. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.